All right, it's 2:40. You ready?
I'm ready. Oh, I'm ready.
You ready? 3, 2, 1. All right, we're live. Don't cut this part out again next time. Appreciate it.
If you don't like it, you do yourself.
You know, I'm just saying, don't cut it out.
Alright.
I put it there for a reason, man.
Alright, I didn't know.
Okay, date. What's the date today?
Is this
7th of April, 2020. Still in quarantine. As of right now, don't know how many days it's been. It's been.
I don't think about it. I live this life, bro.
Okay.
Honestly,
We're gonna talk about
I
it.
truly enjoy the way that my life
Well, we're
is.
gonna talk about it today. So, it's gonna be a fun ride, fun conversation. I think.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's gonna
Got my science energy drink,
be science.
however you want to pronounce it. Okay, my name is Adam Trevino.
I'm Elijah Rodriguez.
This is episode 3 of the Common Ground Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. So, to get right down to it, this episode actually came to fruition not too long ago. I think it was Tuesday, or no, today's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday, but yesterday. You're probably over the weekend.
It was like over the
That's what we
weekend.
saw that, bro.
Over the weekend. So, okay. So we came across this post. I'm pretty sure many of y'all have come across it as well. It's been everywhere. It says, if you don't come out of this quarantine with a new skill, your side hustle started, or more knowledge, you never lacked time, you lacked discipline. On the flip side of this post, it says the same exact thing. We'll also add photos on here so you can see what it says. You never lacked time, you lacked discipline is crossed out. And it says, you're doing just fine. We're going through a collective traumatic experience, and not everyone has the privilege of turning a pandemic into something fun or productive. That kind of really sparked debate amongst quite a few people.
Including me.
Including you and I. Well, some the same, some different, I think, in some aspects. But that's ultimately what we're going to talk about today. So, when you came across the post, what were your initial thoughts? I mean, obviously the first one was the one that was crossed out.
Yeah.
I actually had not seen the original.
So that's crazy because I had seen the original and then you had told me about
Okay.
the other one. So I didn't even know the other one existed until you told me about it. Probably.
You mean the crossed out one?
Yeah, the crossed out one.
Oh, so you saw original one and then you saw the crossed out one?
Which I think I probably retweeted it, maybe I don't even know.
Okay.
Because I agreed with the first one.
Okay.
Highly.
Yeah, well, I saw the second one first, that's fine. So, I mean, what are your initial thoughts? You come across this post, what's the first thing that runs through your mind? Like,
Which we talking about the first
the
one?
original one that you saw.
I think I retweeted it. I think I agree with it. 100%.
You
I think
wholeheartedly 100% agree.
100%.
Okay.
Depending on your situation, of course.
Okay, so,
No.
of course, certain situations are going to affect
Oh, yeah.
that phrase or this post.
Because I think that's the thing that's trending on Twitter, so it's probably hinting towards people our age
Mhm.
rather than adults or clearly.
Basically, for people that have free time,
Right.
not as much responsibility.
Right.
Okay, so what are your initial thoughts in terms of how this affects people right now? Do you think people should be doing side hobbies? Do you think people should really just be focusing their time on learning a new skill or reading a new book, or like what should people be doing right now?
Something, bro. Something.
But
Not nothing.
so I mean, sleeping is something. Be more specific. Like,
Okay, I mean,
or, something productive.
Yeah, I mean, of course. Why wouldn't you do? I mean, people are gonna sit here and say that that's like, oh, but why wouldn't like people have hobbies that they do all the time?
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't you do something to be productive rather than just sit at home and watch Netflix all day? I mean, we've talked about this in the past.
It was in the first episode.
Yeah, I mean, this is still a thing because I didn't think a lot of people expected it to be this long of a thing
Right.
of us being stuck inside.
I think it's okay for the first few weeks, right? I mean, I like
See,
even first few weeks is kind of cutting it. Like, hey, it's, you gotta get up.
I don't know how people have been sitting at home doing nothing for this long.
Even after a day, I
I
kind of
don't.
feel unproductive.
I can't do it a day.
Yeah, I hate taking rest days at the gym.
Yeah, that's
No,
I mean, I don't like
I
that.
like going to the gym. I like
that
doing
too.
something.
Yeah, yeah.
That's just doing something in general. Like, I feel like
I think
I need to do
this
something.
sparked more debate outside this sparked more interesting things outside of the quarantine thing honestly.
Okay. Because it could not only affect your time in the quarantine, but time in general. I mean, I'm saying in the sense that if something like this were to happen again, I mean,
No. This post exposes more than it
that's
more
interesting.
than it means to.
Well, get into the specifics. Like, what do you mean by that?
So there's two posts, right? There's the one that says you lack discipline,
Mm-hmm.
and there's the one that says, oh, it's okay, right? Depending on your personality, I think, and what kind of person you are, is kind of shows what side you went to,
Mm-hmm.
right? So for me and you, who actually do shit on a daily basis and can't stand the idea of not being productive, we went towards one side, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think the people that chose the one that says, oh, it's okay, they're soft.
You think they're 1,000 wholeheartedly, completely soft?
100%. I think that they're gonna sit here and say that, oh, it's okay because the people are dealing with shit. Oh, it's okay because it's such a pandemic. I can guarantee you, and by all means, there are people that are being affected by this. I can guarantee
What kind of people?
people that have gotten sick, that have gotten laid off, that are seriously so when they say people are affected by this pandemic, there are people that are being affected by the pandemic that have to support families that are trying to figure it out. There's people that have gotten sick and probably are struggling to recover.
Mhm.
People that are still recovering. Like that means that it's affecting you,
Yeah,
right?
directly. Yeah.
Directly. That okay? Hey, dude, you're figuring your shit out. Go ahead and you're going through some shit.
Mhm.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Understood. But the people that are posting that shit are the ones that are sitting on the couch, watching TV all day, have no motivation to do a damn thing, and want people to feel the same as they are.
And you're saying this is the post with the
The cross out.
crossed out.
They don't do a damn thing all day. And they're saying, oh, it's okay. It's an excuse, bro.
Right.
It's an excuse for them. And they'll post it out there because I can guarantee you there's more people thinking the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to agree with them. And it's kind of a validation, like you were saying earlier. It's a validation for them
Right.
to say, oh, these guys agree with me. They like my picture. Oh, so it's okay for me to sit back and smoke weed and watch TV and say, oh, quarantine. And it's all fun and games and it's funny and shit. So you're 5 months down the line,
You know, like,
it's time to get back to real life.
Either
And-
that or
And
I
there's
didn't
people
do
like,
anything.
You didn't do it. You didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And people have highly surpassed you because they couldn't handle not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
There's two different people at this,
Right.
and I think that this kind of exposes more people than anything.
Let me ask you this: does this post resonate with someone who is wholeheartedly privileged? Do you think that you need to be privileged in order to start a side hustle? A side
Privileged?
hobby? A
Privileged?
side- knowledge, like do you because it says here I'm
Bro.
not as privileged. I'll read it to you. It says right here. It says not everyone has the privilege of turning a pandemic into something productive, which is the main topic what we're trying to get at, or fun. I mean, sure, you can do fun things. Obviously, fun is very subjective. So is productive, but it's referring to people that have a privilege. I mean, when you read that, what comes to mind when it comes to privilege, and do you need to be privileged in order to do those things?
Okay, so when it comes to starting a side hobby, or any kind of hobby, you need a computer. I can guarantee you that if you were struggling before this and you didn't have a computer, or you didn't have certain things, that's a whole nother story.
So you need the interwebs.
Sure, but I think that's a whole nother topic because people were struggling before this.
Right.
It just wasn't as brought to light.
Okay.
People were having a hard time. People that are in public school systems were having a hard time trying to make shit work before this happened. So I'm not even going to count those people because the people posting this are, if you're going to say privileged.
Mm-hmm.
They're sitting at home in a nice apartment or at home, wherever.
Mm-hmm.
You can consider them privileged. If you're going to sit here and use privilege as an excuse to start a business or start something, there's people that have done it with nothing. Jack
$0 in
shit.
the bank,
Nothing.
no experience,
And
no
they
college
made it.
degree.
And they made it with nothing. So
Right.
the fact that you're going to sit here and say, I can't start a hobby that essentially costs nothing at the beginning, saying I can't start a business starts on an idea. and
Right.
networking rather than anything. So these people, these privileged people or unprivileged people, can do all of that. They're just too damn lazy.
And I think it's funny that you mentioned that because the ones that we know that are kind of like where you see this post circulating, it's mostly involved with people that are stuck in a system of working a 9-to-5 job.
Oh.
And it's funny that these people aren't aware of
Right.
what these other highly successful people are doing in order to get to where they're at now. They don't understand the sort of adversity, I feel like, that doesn't that those people are able to go through to get to where they are now. And so I think a lot of that is brought to light because of just the system that we're in now.
I think
obviously.
I think that 9 to 5 is a trap.
Well, yeah, that ultimately it could be. For some people, if that's what they want to do, sure, they love it, fine, got it. But on the flip side,
Okay, that I agree. There's people that do 9 to 5 stuff.
Sure.
And that's what they want.
That's what
That's
they want to do,
fine,
and
sure.
that's not to judge them.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a trap. More often than not,
It's a trap.
people don't like to do the 9 to 5. Okay, people want to escape that at some point. People
And
want
when
to
you,
be on
you say
their own.
9 to 5, you just mean a
A
normal job.
normal desk
Normal
job, 9 to 5, clock in and out. That's it, every single day, Monday to Friday. That's what I mean by that.
Mhm.
Okay, but it's funny how you kind of see instead of utilizing the extra time we have, not being able to wholeheartedly work or have to go drive back from work. Instead, people are not doing anything productive, and you see this post kind of resonate with people that are continuously living through
Lies.
a 9 to 5 job though.
Okay. Yeah.
They're living through a system, and so they think, oh well, I'm gonna sit back, I'm not gonna do anything. That's it, because my job's gone.
Mhm.
This is all I have left. It's just coming back home, and I'm at the home part, and that's it. And I think that's where that post kind of started, and lots of people are like that, and they created this thing to make it seem like, what, like you were saying before, it's okay.
You want to know why? And this is the craziest thing. People, and this is what I was talking to you earlier, and we didn't really find the answer to this. But people are drawn to comfort, right? They get drawn to the idea of comfortable. It's everywhere.
It's the same thing in terms of like comfort can expand so
To
far
anything.
and wide.
I was gonna give you the example. So like the idea, your brain will lead you to the easiest path. It'll tell you when it's uncomfortable.
Right.
Example: when you're working out and you feel like you feel a burn, your brain,
It's
a lot of
gonna
people,
stop.
you want to stop because it's uncomfortable,
Right.
and you don't like it. Your brain doesn't like it,
No.
and your body parts don't like it.
Right.
So it's telling you to stop. Some people have a voice that tell them, this is it.
This is where you
This is
grow.
where change happens.
That's where change happens.
Right? But people don't like that. That goes into the same thing with starting something new.
Right.
And people don't like that.
Right.
Because you have to put yourself out there, which takes you outside of your comfort zone.
So how do you overcome that?
You just have to do it. That's the thing that a lot of people don't
I
understand.
understand you have to do it, but for some people they don't think that way.
Right.
So is that a product of surrounding yourself with people that just tell you to stop when you're uncomfortable, or is that a product
it
of
has to do
who you
with a lot.
surround
It has
yourself
to do with mentality,
how you're
how you've been brought up.
Sure.
People that coddle their kids.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you how to raise your kids. That's
Right.
on you. But I think that's an
I think we might save that for
another time.
another time.
I think it has to do with people you surround yourself with. If you're surrounded by, fucking losers,
Yeah.
you're gonna be a loser.
Yeah.
If you're sitting at home, or if you've been doing the same thing every day and you fall into a rut, that can lead to the same thing. You don't like change, sure. And it goes back to what we were just saying right now. The mind is gonna tell you to seek comfort.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea of you going and saying you want to start a blog, or you want to start a YouTube page, whatever it is, that requires you to take yourself out of that comfort zone,
Mm-hmm.
of course your mind's going to tell you, this is stupid, you shouldn't do that. Or you're going to write something up and say, you know what, I don't think I like it this much.
I also think that it could be also a product of thinking that ultimately the main goal of everyone's life is to reach a certain point where you're just sitting back, You're relaxing. You're on a beach and you're having a drink, and that's it. That's the end goal.
I think. But I don't think that necessarily has to do with this.
No, but I'm saying like that's what comfort feels like for people.
Yeah.
And so right now, as people are doing that,
Mm-hmm.
people like it. People want to experience that because they have been working. Sure, they haven't been working in the grand scheme of things for a very long time, like as opposed to like obviously 40, 50, 60-year-old people, but they seek that comfort because they think that's what they want to be happy. That's what they need in order for them to be happy. And
Right.
now since they've got it, they can get a taste of what it kind of feels like to be like, you know what, I'm not doing a damn thing. This is what I want. This is what I'm working towards.
Okay, yeah.
That's where the whole idea of like,
And
I want to
finally-
retire at 35, 40 years
And
old
they-
and sit back on a beach my entire life. That's where that whole mentality kind of stems from. I feel like that's where it starts.
Yeah, they fall into that.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, I don't think like that's a lie that we've been fed too, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lie. No one.
I think people will become very unhappy if they end up doing that. It gets old real quick.
It gets old real quick. I remember I saw the Twilight Zone. I was telling you about this, but I didn't tell you about it.
You didn't finish
it
it
earlier, right?
Yeah.
So there's the Twilight Zone.
Are you talking about the old one?
Yeah, the old one.
The one with the weird like monsters and like gremlins
Yes.
and shit?
So there's this one episode of this guy who goes to hell, right? But he thinks he went to heaven. And it's the same thing of like happiness. And when he gets there, he has all the girls, he wins, he has all the cars, nice house, nice this, and he just lives in this fairy tale of like, this is perfect.
Of what he thinks like heaven
What he
is
thinks
supposed to
heaven,
be.
and that's the thing,
Gotcha.
of what heaven is, right? But the guy doesn't tell him this is heaven, though, obviously it's hell. Because he was a bank robber and all this shit, he gets shot, and then he goes to this place, he wakes up and he's in this place where he has everything he ever wanted, he thinks that he has it, right? And it drives him insane,
Why is that?
literally. Because the human mind is not built for that. If you go back to the primal of the human is to survive and to always be moving, and to you're just always constantly moving. So if you just sit in a state of like this fake reality where like everything I have is right here and I'm never gonna, that's when you get depressed.
Mm-hmm.
What are you looking forward to?
Yeah, you got nothing.
What are you gaining?
People enjoy the process more so than they.
Yeah, I mean
Enjoy the
that's
end.
life. So the idea that you're gonna get to this point where you're not gonna do jack shit anymore, it's a fake, it's a facade, it's not real.
Not real.
And people are being fed that. Oh, especially through 9 to 5s, dude. That's what I'm saying. 9 to 5s are a trap. I work one, and I'm not gonna get into that
Mm-hmm.
because that's a whole other story for a whole
But you
other time.
experience it every single day.
I'm
We
watching
experience it.
and I'm looking at it from an enlightened standpoint, knowing that I'm not gonna be here forever.
No,
and I know
nor do
that.
you want to be.
Nor do
here
I. Could I ever think to be here when I'm in 10 years, let alone another year. So here's the thing: it's a trap because these companies are gonna tell these kids fresh out of college that are young, that are looking to get rich quick, looking for that. In 10 years, 20 years, I'll get to that point.
It's funny you mentioned that.
I'll get to that spot of like, oh, I'll be
I'll
happy.
tell you something
And they'll
real quick
feed you with
after
a
that.
happy work environment. Oh, we'll get you that good retirement package so you can't retire at 40. Oh, we'll get you this, we'll get you that. It's a trap so that you never find your own potential. They want you to stick around. They want you to stay here.
And make
working
it
for
seem
this
like you
other
can
guy.
retire until like you're 40.
Oh yeah,
and
you
then
can.
you're
Oh,
done.
you want this? We'll get it for you, but come work here. Don't go off and do your own thing. I know you. Everyone has dreams and like what they want, but people settle for shit. So they're gonna sit here and say, "Oh, I need money now. I just graduated. Oh, this company's gonna pay me X. Oh, and I can have a retirement fund. Oh, they're gonna give me it's a great work-life balance. I went there and oh, it's a great work culture. They're nice people there, and it's a trap to hold you there.
Yeah.
And it just bleeds mediocrity, dude.
Yeah.
And it's awful. But that's where shit like that comes from. For people like that.
Oh. And I think that's where that whole post kind of just originated.
Yeah, dude.
That's where it comes
That's
from.
where it comes from.
It's funny because you talk about these things, and I remember when I first started working, or when I was about to transition into the sales job, the first thing I was told, first year you're gonna make, not so
yeah,
much.
dude.
Second year 60, third year you're gonna be making over 6 figures.
Oh, you'll make 6 figures.
6 figures a year. Wasn't so much about putting myself in a position to be happy. It was how can I get you to stay here?
No, it's how can
what are we gonna tell
how
you?
are you gonna work for me?
First thing is money.
How are you gonna work for me? What are you gonna do for me?
Yeah.
Well, if you work this much and you work X amount of hours, I'll get you this.
Yeah.
And not necessarily saying that they're not gonna get you that, because some companies follow through with that, but you stay here.
Well, now I know that's completely
And you're here
false.
for a year, and you're here, and you're here, and you're here, and you're gonna stay right here. Don't think, hey, that business you thought about starting with your second year of college, forget that. You're here now.
Yeah.
You're here. It's a trap, bro.
Yeah, they don't
It's
care.
a trap. No, they don't care. Some do. I'm not gonna sit here and discredit some companies, and some people are built to work under. That's the other thing. So we're talking about all this. You have to be self-aware of who you are
Okay.
and what you are. So for me and you, it might be a little different because we're not wired that way. We're built to do our own thing. There are some people, not everybody can be the boss, bro. Not everybody can. Not everybody's built that way. And that is okay. But there's people that aren't self-aware and know that. And there's people that are going to go out there and think they're the greatest entrepreneur and try to do all these things. In reality, that's not who you are. You're going to figure that out real quick. But if you're out, and here's the thing, man, this is the time. Go out and do different shit. And find out who you are. People are sitting at home right now, binging Netflix, and they don't know who the fuck they are. Like, why not figure it out?
Why not taste the whole bunch
Why
of
not
things?
figure it out? That's the thing that scared me, and I still don't know who I am. I'm doing this now. I mean, like we said in the last episode, I was doing other shit months ago. I'm still trying to figure this out. But the one thing that scared the shit out of me, like coming into this, is that I knew I was gonna have to be alone. And when you're alone with your thoughts, and you're alone facing all the shit that you didn't probably want to look at and things you didn't want to talk about and all this other shit that's going through your head, you're going to find out who you are real quick when you're in solitude, when you're by yourself. People don't want to do that. They don't.
Yeah, that's some serious shit.
Yeah.
People lose their minds.
Oh, dude. Or they'll keep running. And that turns into a whole lot of other things. But that's all real shit, man.
Now, instead of trying to change gears a little bit, now we understand that this is something that is mostly directed towards people who are living that sort of lifestyle right now, doing binging things that in the end they're just sleeping all day, whatever. On the flip side, we got people that are really struggling.
Yeah, that's
Like
just,
you were talking about
I
earlier.
mean, I those are the people that I feel for, bro. Like,
Of course.
of course, man. Those people that have families.
Now, do you think they should be trying to learn a new hobby or skill or...
I think when you get to that point where you have a family and you have a life, like you've had a life and you have people that need to eat, I think that if you're at that point in your life, your whole values have changed.
Right.
I don't think that applies to you.
I do also want to say that if you are stuck in that position, what other things can you do? Like, if you're stuck without having a job, right, and you know you need to put food on the table, I mean, obviously, like, and these are things that we're going to talk about later, but obviously having a savings built up, having an emergencies fund built up for certain situations like this is very important. But on the flip side, you have to do something. And I think, yeah, we might be going through a global pandemic, and who's to say something like this in the future might happen again, but I really feel like if you are in that situation, you have no choice but to face adversity at that point.
Yeah, you have
Something must be done. And it's not so much, let me pat you on the back, everything's going to be okay kind of thing. Because then you take away the fact that, no, it's really not. It's not going to be
have to face shit.
okay, because you have to do something. Deal with it. Yeah. You have to do something. You have no choice. You have to survive. Like, you have to come out of this on top. And so you have to do something. Because you can't just sit down and just ponder and cower the whole time.
So for people that are doing that, man, you have to you don't have time to stop. There's no time for you to cower and to cry and to say, oh my God, what am I gonna do? There's no time. You got kids that are hungry, homie.
Yeah.
You got to figure it out fast, right? Sure, the government's gonna come in clutch here for you. I get that. They're gonna come in. They're gonna help you out a little bit.
Far, though,
but that we'll see how far.
Depending
that lasts.
on your lifestyle.
Let's say this thing ends next month, because sports want to start up.
And we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that next. I mean, lifestyle in terms of how this is all playing out.
Dude, life. They're scheduling life to start next month. So let's say you get one check for $1,200, and let's say that company never recovered that you work for. They still can't
it's
pay
a smaller
you,
company,
right? They can't pay you. What then? So this little thing that people are relying on, this check coming in, it ain't gonna solve your problems. It's one page. Let's say you get
Especially
one
if you're wanting to
especially
boast.
when you have 3 kids.
3 kids, you're boasting, and
Oh,
and
yeah,
you've got
yeah.
this job, and all of a
That's
sudden
cool.
everything's gone.
If you want that, I think that this exposes a lot of people. I
What
think
do you
the,
mean
I
by
think the
that?
idea of this whole thing exposes a lot of people.
Like who they are as a person.
Oh yeah, and your character, and who you are. Because there's people that are gonna sit there, that are big on social media, right? They're gonna put on there that, oh, you're living this fantastic lifestyle, and you're living great, and you're so awesome.
But they're blowing through cash.
They're just buying shoes and buying dumb shit, just to show on their profiles that they're better than you, right? There's a lot. I mean,
Or to make other people think that they're
or to
successful.
make people think that you're successful, right?
quote unquote.
So what happens when that goes away?
All of a sudden,
All of a sudden,
you've bought too many pairs of shoes. You're trying to sell people things, and people are trying to save money. And in
Yeah,
the beginning, I
that's a
feel like
whole
for young
thing.
people, you gotta be smart about
that's
this whole thing.
be smart, but dude, like.
That's what I'm saying. Like
That's-
budgeting and
well, so when I
emergency
say
funds are important.
characters, when I say characters kind of exposed, and I'm serious, like you have to, like it goes into self-awareness, but like at the same time, like it shows like what you're made of. Like let's say you're running a business, and this is I was listening to Gary Vee the other day and he was talking about this. This is a time, like this is a tough time, right? And it's exposing a lot of people that think being like, that's the new thing, bro. The new coolest thing is to be an entrepreneur, run your own business, and create, and do all this shit.
Mhm.
But there's a way to run a business, and then there's fake shit.
Mhm.
And I can guarantee you about more than half is leaning towards
Of course.
having this whole lifestyle of what an entrepreneur should be, when really it's like not. It's like doing work, and it's like me and you sitting at a computer for 6 hours a day editing and making everything work, and like brainstorming, and like that's what like creating really is.
Mhm.
It's not, hey mom, I need a new pair of Yeezys so I can post it on my gram so I can look sick.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of kids do.
Mhm.
And that's not real. So you can't look at that side. There's people that are trying to build businesses to look cool on Instagram,
Mhm.
and they probably grossed a little bit, did a little bit of stuff, and whatever they're doing, this took it away, and then they cower and die.
And then the real ones are exposed.
And then you're really
Or
exposed.
the real and fake people are exposed.
The real ones are shown.
Mhm.
So it's like get punched in the face. It's like, okay, now
What are you gonna do after
what
you
happens
take that
now?
punch? You fall
What
down.
happens?
You fall down.
You
You
just
talk.
gonna,
The idea of entrepreneurship is like learning to fail, learning to get back up,
Oh,
and all of a
dude.
sudden
dude,
something like this happens and no one gets back up and no one
no, it's
one
like
fights
fucking
through
shit.
adversity.
Like, all right, now what? Some people are like, oh my god, I lost all my money.
You gotta feel sorry for me now, you know.
What am I supposed to do? I guess I'll just cry and smoke weed all day and play 2K.
Yeah.
People do, bro. I'm serious. Like, well, let me call my mom. Mom, business folded. I need to pay rent. Where you at?
Yeah.
That's what people do.
Instead
like,
of
that's
instead
real
of
shit,
legitimately
man.
budgeting, saving,
Like, it's like, all right, okay, I'm building a
building a
business.
nest egg, and
That's I think like number one problem when people really build businesses, and like I learned this from somebody like years ago when we were trying to build that personal training business.
Mhm.
They have a certain business, like let's just say it's personal training, and instead of, you need to put every dollar that you make from a business
back
into the business. It
Yeah.
should go into you should not make a cent off of shit until you've been doing it for like 2 years.
Yeah. I've been working with a lot of programs and things like that, and everything has gone back
It's
to
the same
social
thing.
media,
Just
marketing.
Put it in and put it in. You
T-shirts.
keep funneling it and
Everything,
funneling it
yeah.
and but these idiots are making cash and putting it into appearance
Mhm.
in their image. Shit's not real.
You know how quickly I could probably put myself in like Gucci and Fendi and make it seem like I'm like
I
this
could too.
top tier personal trainer that just knows absolutely everything.
It's just not. It's not realistic.
No, it's not. And that's not to put down anybody that wears Fendi
Look,
or
man,
Prada. Or,
Here's my thing. If you, this is how I see it now, and I used to be very skewed, bro. I used to like even like the clothes I would buy, it was stupid because, and I just like I'm gonna straight up be honest with you. When I was 2 years ago, I would go to Lululemon, and this is embarrassing. However you want to see it, I'd go to Lululemon. I'd buy 3 shirts for $150, and then I wouldn't have enough money to eat, so I'd call my mom and say, "Hey, mom, send me some cash so I can eat." You know how stupid that? Like the logic of that.
Mhm.
And there's people that do that shit, bro. there are people that'll do that.
And hopefully they
And
are
you'll
able to
learn.
wake up and learn.
You'll
Yeah.
learn.
Yeah.
It's gonna take some time,
Yeah.
but you'll learn. I did.
Yeah.
It took a long time, but legit. I would do stupid shit like that because I wanted to look cool.
Mhm.
I wanted people to think I had money because like, and that's such a cliche thing because no one like everybody wants to look like they have a lot of money, but no one's gonna tell you how much money they have. Have you noticed that? No one's walking around showing you their wallet
Mhm.
or their bank account.
Yeah.
So like, what do you like? Here's my thing, and this is kind of something that I've always taken into account. If you're gonna go buy something, number one, buy it for yourself because you want it, not because it's gonna make someone else look cool or make you look cool to somebody else. If you're gonna buy something, buy it because it's wholeheartedly what you want, not to fill an emotional gap, not to make your girlfriend like you more.
Not to make anyone else think.
Not
you
to
have
want to.
money.
Yeah, I mean, I just said
Yeah.
it's like if you're gonna buy something, you buy it for yourself.
Yeah.
That's so tight. I asked my brother for a pair of Jordans. I ain't worn those. I haven't worn them one time, but I thought it was cool. I thought it was like the cool thing to have.
Yeah.
Never worn them.
That was only
stupid.
Christmas.
That was Christmas. That's how much I think I've changed quite a bit. My mindset has changed
Yeah.
a good amount.
Yeah.
There's just so much shit that's happened.
Yeah. And I think it's perfectly okay. Like,
Yeah.
whether this is happening, whether you're your teens, your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, it doesn't matter. Like
You figure it out when you figure it out, man.
you figure it, and that's the thing. Like that's what's gonna make you who you ultimately are gonna become. But I mean, this isn't like set on a certain timeline.
No.
You know.
No, everyone's gonna figure it out when they. That's what I'm saying. People are like, you need to figure it out now.
Right.
Like, no, man, you figure it out when you figure it out. That's how shit happens.
So what about for the people that are working jobs? So people that are currently working right now,
Mhm.
whether it's from home or in hospitals or wherever, that are still working jobs, like. Could this also be a time for people to start something on the side, or
I think.
do you
that-
think that those people are privileged enough to just continue to work? Like, what do you think that should be? I mean,
It's not. It's the word privilege pisses me off.
so it pisses you off.
Yeah, it pisses
Alright.
me off.
What makes you so upset about it?
Because everyone has the opportunity to do something, man. That's such a
Whether
thing.
that's that you're at work or you're not.
Whether you're at work, whether you're not.
Yeah.
Everyone has.
To a certain extent. of
To a
course.
certain extent, there's gonna be people with more money and more opportunity, sure.
Of course.
But everyone
But you can't compare.
No, everyone has the same opportunity to build something.
Mhm.
Everyone does. Like, I mean, it doesn't cost you a dime to go outside, and like people that are trying to lose weight, that's the biggest thing, dude. Oh my god, I don't know how to do it. Go run.
Yeah.
Just like people are gonna sit here and say, oh my god, I don't have time. I can't do it. And they say I don't have the privilege to go to a gym.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
That all comes down
Privilege?
to mindset, man.
What?
Which is why we talked about it first.
Yeah, man. What privilege?
Yeah.
Go run. I don't. That blows my mind.
Yeah.
When you talk about privilege, I associate the word privilege with so many different things rather than that post because that post pisses me off.
So do you think that people who find a way to do something or get something done, you consider those people as winners, and the people that don't do anything and stay at home watch TV losers?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
It's a loser mentality.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So when I said this time exposes a lot of people, I mean it shows you who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So like people are gonna sit here and look at the world right now and say, oh my god, there's two different ways. Oh my god, this sucks. I can't do anything. What, like that tweet we saw earlier. I just finished binge watching all this shit. What
No,
else?
it was sleeping all day.
Oh, sleeping
What else
all
is
day.
there to do?
What else is there to do?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Those are and
That's the
to
thing.
clear things up, those are the types of people we're talking about.
Yeah, man.
Those are the sorts of situations we're talking about, and that's what I think this tweet or post or whatever is referring to.
Yeah.
Like when it's talking about privilege, I think it's talking about this. It's specifically referring to those people, of course. I mean, in the sense that it's like you're at home, you've got no responsibilities. You don't have to pay rent. You don't have to pay for groceries. Or if you do pay rent, it's a very small amount. Your unemployment check will cover it. Big deal. You're done. You got to cover whatever. You're living there. You know. I think that's what it's ultimately referring to. So
I just think that like there's people that think that everything sucks right now, but there's those same people thought that shit sucked 2 months ago.
Yeah.
They were unhappy 2 months ago.
Yeah.
This is just feeding their fuel of unhappiness and,
Right.
and doubt and I'm gonna say because depression's a real thing, but depression because they're not really depressed, they're just bored.
Yeah.
Right.
Or they create this depressive
Or they
kind of
create
mindset
this
and lifestyle
whole
for themselves.
thing
Yeah.
that feeds into it, and it's just a
Where it's like,
constant
I just need to
cycle
stay
of
home,
shit.
I don't need to do anything.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
But then there's the people that are looking at the situation and saying, "Oh, there's so much opportunity."
This is an opportunity.
Dude, look
yeah.
at we did this in this time.
Yeah.
What this is opportunity at its like peak, dude. This is it. We've created something in such a horrible time.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's opportunity out there. You just have to legitimately find it.
Yeah, the
And
first
people aren't ready to do that.
the first thing that came to mind when I was laid off and no longer had a cash flow or a paycheck or whatever you want to call it. First thing I want to do is let's do this. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about our issues right now. Let's talk about how this quarantine affected us. How future problems future instances like this can affect us. It was the first thing that came to my mind was like seizing the opportunity. Like who knows how long this is gonna last. Let's do something.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start something I've always wanted to start. Let's move forward on something that we've always talked about.
Yeah.
And I think, of course, and this is my take. I think depending on your background, I'm not so harsh to say that you're a fucking loser. You suck. It's more so like you got to start. It's not so much like from one day to the next starting. Boom, you got to do it. Like you got to start having the small steps along the way, the small successes, like we talked about in the previous episode.
That
Small things, a little bit every single day, that ultimately work up to you wanting to do something for yourself.
Right.
A big thing.
With that, I think this goes into a whole other thing rather than doing stuff. I think it starts with when you talk about mindset. It's more than that, because there's these people that they're okay with, they're comfortable with sitting in this spot, and then they're like, oh, and they'll get that glimpse of like, you know what, and the people I'm talking about in general, they're like, well, you know what, I need to do this today.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this, and they'll be like, hey man, and they'll go to their friend and be like, hey, let's go for a run today.
Well, it's the same people that
That are like, why would
know
we do
that they shouldn't be getting in shape
They know it.
deep down, and then all of a sudden,
You know what that comes down to, man? It's like people are like, you don't get what you want, you get what you have to have. Like, oh, I want that, but do I really?
or that like, it's a closed-minded idea. It's like,
Yeah.
I can never get that way.
You know what? It's impossible, dude. Oh,
And
come
it's just
on.
like,
It's impossible. But that's a load of shit.
I do it for about a week, and then, but like I said, it really truly comes down to rewiring your brain and
So-
rewiring your mindset to
Well, you know
at
what-
least start.
You know where that came from when I was talking to you about that? So I'm listening to that David Goggins book, and like normally he's pretty much an extremist. So there's a lot of
Yeah.
stuff you can kind of take and come.
He's not a mental midget.
Right.
He's a
Right.
he's a mental
That dude
monster.
is a monster, right? But
Mental
then-
monster.
So with that, you have the extreme, and then you have the middle, and then you have the people
midget.
that are midgets.
It's a mental midget.
So you got this monster, and I'm self-aware enough to where I take some of his stuff, and I'm like, you know what, that probably isn't for me. Like I'm not just gonna show up one day. I had to run a mile in a year and just show up.
You're not gonna start bleeding
run,
out your
run
pants.
70 in a second
poop
and
in
then
your
shit
pants.
myself.
Poop
and,
in
yeah.
your pants, pee in your pants, and then be like,
Because
I'm gonna keep
I
running."
wanted to run 100 miles and
Yeah.
I've never run before. Like,
That's
yeah,
like-
there's just certain
That's an
stuff.
extreme mentality, of course. Like,
Respect to the guy because that's intense.
Yeah,
But
of course.
I know that that's not who I am. I'm not gonna just show up to a track and run it 70 times because
piss your pants and start running
no,
again.
man.
Yeah.
But so I'm listening to it and he was telling me. It's crazy. He's telling me because he's talking to you like you're a person when you're
He's your
listening to the
personal guy.
audiobook, right?
He's your guy, man. That's it.
So he's saying, and he's like, the idea that of people that get things done, right? The people that actually get like shit done, is the difference between being motivated and being driven.
Okay.
Think about it. So motivation, and like he actually, when I listen to him talk about it, it like conformed the way I think of like motivation. And it makes sense. He says it's bullshit. Because it is. Because your motivation will come and go.
Right.
It'll come for like
It's not always consistent.
It'll come for like a week, and then it'll go just as fast as it came. Just like the people that want to work out, they'll go work out for a week, and then they'll fall
It's
off.
like the
Because
New Year's.
they'll wake up and get tired one day and be like, snooze, and they'll go back and they'll never see the gym again.
Yeah.
Or they'll go in 3 months. or they'll go whenever, or they'll start writing that book, and they'll fall off their writing thing. They'll write every day for 2 days, 3 days, and then they'll say, I'm gonna watch TV tonight instead, and it just, you're motivated for a little bit, and then it goes away. So it's bullshit. It's fake. But when you're driven to do something, it like you're driven. It's not going anywhere. It's like inside you to take care of this thing. And there's some people that are like that, and by all means, it's something you can find. But like people don't want to go out and search for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's uncomfortable to do that.
And that all goes back to like what you're talking about in terms of like reaching this ultimate comfort
Yeah,
level.
man. It's just like I want to be comfortable. I want to be happy.
It's a matter of
It's
being
not it.
uncomfortable.
No. And the crazy thing, we're talking about
That's
happiness.
growth.
We'll talk
That's
about
growth.
happiness at another time. But people think that this brings happiness. I'm like, no, dude. It's gonna kill you. It's
and then
depressing.
when you're older, you're gonna regret the hell out of it.
Yeah. And that's like, dude,
I feel that.
that scares me. Like that scares me.
Living with a lot
Like
of regrets.
you're growing up with people. So, I mean, there's all these different people that are going out and chasing shit, and like you're sitting at home. What about when you're 50 and like they took those chances, they took those risks. Now,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna be 50, and maybe they built something insane, dude. Maybe they did it, whatever it is.
It's like the story of Colonel Sanders selling Kentucky Fried Chicken at like 65 years of age.
But like, there's people that are gonna grow up, and they're gonna remember this time and be like, damn, I had all that time.
Yeah.
I had all that time, and I didn't do anything. I smoked a bunch of weed and played 2K.
It's always rolling blunts, smoking bowls, and playing 2K.
Yeah, dude, like that's
Playing
cool.
with Bobo on the show.
And like it bothers me, bro, because that's like cool. That's what gets like attention on Twitter.
Yeah, it is.
Is how much
It
how
is.
lazy you are, and
And
how
that
much
all comes
weed you
down to
smoke,
like media
bro.
consumption and preoccupying yourself with media.
It's wild. Like the amount of like.
Who you follow, who you associate with, everything is
Wow,
as you know
man.
it.
But like it, sometimes like it's funny.
And then it's funny. Yeah,
It's funny
exactly.
every once in a
I was
while.
about to say that.
It's
It's like
funny.
you make memes about it, and then people are like,
It's funny.
"It's okay." It's like everyone else is doing. They're making
Everyone
memes.
else
Everyone's
is
laughing.
doing it.
And
It's
it's
funny.
gotta be funny.
And like sometimes, yeah, it's funny but you know, people disassociate relaxation with like laziness.
Yeah.
There's a difference. Relaxation is like, damn, I just ran 7 miles.
Or you worked all day and
I worked all day.
and
I deserve
I'm
this.
exhausted. I worked all
I
day.
deserve this.
I did like
No.
10 things today. I'm relaxing.
No.
But you're right. It is true. I think a lot of people will start associating
This
relaxation
is-
with laziness.
Right, relaxation and laziness is not even remotely close to the same thing. But
People start taking
associate the
weeks
two.
off. Well, weeks off the gym or just weeks like this going on right now, and they're
And
just
it's
like,
like
I'm
so-
relaxing. I've been working my entire life. Let me take these 3 or 4 weeks and relax.
It's just, bro, this like blows my. And I'm keeping it calm for you, because I could said so much,
Yeah.
and I'm keeping it pretty relaxed right
You
now.
can say it. I mean, there's.
No, I mean I'm not.
You said. I know what you said. Like the most of the.
What we were
stuff
talking
you
about
said.
earlier. I can't say a lot of stuff because I mean it's just like it's not right to say it on this platform, but
Yeah.
like I just have it just like
You feel very strongly about
I
it.
do, because like like for people that know me and what happened in my life, like my life could have been over a long time ago.
Yeah.
And you can sit here and say like, oh, you know, you used to have privilege, like sure, you know, whatever.
I had a front row
But
seat.
my life could have been over. I could have just said, you know what, bad shit after bad shit after bad shit after bad shit. Let's just leave it be. I'll just, you know what, it is what
Those
it
are
is.
lessons after lessons after
Dude,
lessons.
and it's like things that you've learned, and that's like the thing that we were talking about earlier. It's like life is just this. It's just built up over like
You
just
almost
lesson.
said it. You almost
after-
said it.
It's like lesson after lesson, and it's just like that's how life
Yeah.
is built. That's what life is.
That's
it's just
overcoming
like
adversity.
overcoming adversity, and like that's what I was talking about. People that like that have never faced adversity before don't know how to handle this shit.
Yeah.
They don't. They don't, and they think it's okay.
And then the people that do have jobs are still complaining about it.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
bro.
People are complaining about being an essential worker and still having a
Man,
paycheck.
I'm gonna be honest. There are people that are fucking starving at home.
Yeah.
They're starving. Their kids don't fucking eat, and you're gonna sit here and bitch to me because you have to go to work?
And you're still getting
Are
a
you
consistent
kidding
paycheck.
me? That would never even come out of my mouth. I had a front row seat to 30 people get fucking laid off.
Including
That-
me.
I watched that. That would never come out of my fucking mouth to sit here and say, well, I have a job while everyone else can't eat. Are you fucking kidding me, dude?
Yeah.
Dude, when I see those tweets, I had to ask her, like, should I say this to this person? Because I was about to, like, rip her a new one.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you're getting paid. Shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up. You're still getting to eat.
Yeah.
Stop. You know what I'm
You
saying?
still get
Like,
to take care of yourself.
Dude. There are people I was running. So this.
And even when you get home,
You
you,
know what?
still have
So
time
I'm
to
thinking
stuff.
about that thing, right? I'm thinking about that, and like all the things that I've seen in my life. And if you know me, you know what I'm talking about. Like you've struggled, right? My family has had some shit,
Mhm.
and I'm running, and I run early. So I run at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I remember because we talked about it. And this morning I went for a run, and I'm seeing these tow trucks. People getting their cars repoed, bro, at 5 o'clock in the morning. Like it's happening.
Yeah.
This is real life, and like. People, I'm legit, like, after apartment complex, there's tow trucks going in, dude. That means that cars are getting repoed because people can't make their payments.
Mhm.
And you're going to bitch to me that you have to go to work, and a lot of people are either sitting at a desk, or you're working at each
It's
of these
because
stocking
people
shelves.
want to be stuck in that idea that they
Yeah,
just
like,
need to
oh,
be
they get to
lazy.
sit at home.
Yes.
They get to sit at home. I don't get to sit at home. I
Right.
have
That's
to,
exactly
I have
right.
to work at Best Buy and go fetch video games for people. Dude,
That's exactly right.
you're getting a check every Friday.
Yeah.
People are losing their transportation.
Yeah.
And you're going to complain to me
People are
about
losing
that.
everything. People are losing
Dude, people are losing their houses. Shit's tough. Grow up. You know what I'm saying?
Be
Like,
thankful.
what the hell? And people think it's fucking funny. Like, no. Stop. It's
Yeah.
not funny. I mean, maybe I'm just different. I don't know, because I've seen two sides to this. But,
Yeah.
like, dude, no.
I think there's a fine line.
There's a line.
There's a fine line. Like,
Like
you know if you're joking or not, but
Yeah,
people
man.
aren't joking, man.
No,
People
are
are
legitimately
so
upset that they
wholeheartedly
have to get up
serious.
and go to work. And
they
I'm
have
like,
to continue.
I'm an essential worker. Like, yeah, you have to work. Put a mask on, put some gloves on, and earn your check. Nothing's changed from how it was a month or two ago.
Right.
We were all working.
Yeah.
And those people that are posting this shit were bitching back then.
Yeah. They're the same people that were posting memes and
Yeah. It's just
stuff about like having to be at work and waking up early
Yeah,
and
man.
doing those things.
like
Yeah.
it just goes back to being self-aware, bro. Self-aware. And people don't know how to do that. They don't know where they are. Or how bad it can really get. They have no idea. No. I mean, it's just like you have to. If you don't accept who you are and the shit that you're like, where you're at, it will always lead to unhappiness. Always. You'll never be satisfied with anything if you don't look in the fucking mirror and see who you are and how like accept your shit, bro.
Yeah.
And it'll be okay.
Or keep thinking optimistically, or having some sort of a positive outlook on
Yeah,
life,
man,
or
like,
just
That's,
people look at things so negatively now. You know, people have negative mindsets about it. A lot of things, and yeah, it can really affect just your whole outlook on life. If you think about something negative, or you know, I remember reading a long time ago. It was like, I'm doing well if I have a roof over my head. I get to wash my clothes. I have to wash the dishes. I have to go to the grocery store to pick up food. I have to go and make food or whatever.
Mhm.
But you think about those things as being chores, but like you get to do those things because you
Yeah.
have those things.
You get that like
And you
dude,
have
so
that.
I've been watching that guy. What's his name? Matt Diavella, and he's a minimalist, right?
Yeah.
And you don't realize like how much excess that you have till like you see these guys live, bro. And it's like damn, like they're making it
Yeah.
with less.
Mhm.
Like more is less, bro. Like have what you need. Like people don't get that, dude. Like that's a whole nother story. Just like that. So I associate all these things like in one big like bubble.
Big topic.
Yeah, man, it's wild. But yeah, that tweet pissed me off to the fullest because it just shows like who you are as a person, what side. And it's kind of crazy. Like you saw who tweeted what and who agreed with what side,
Mhm.
and that kind of shows who you are, I think. And like what you're like, and then, like when shit gets tough, like what are you made of, really, honestly. And like, I applaud both of us for like, because I mean, I don't know where if it'll get worse if this goes on, man. Like we work in the
No one really
sporting,
knows.
we work in the sporting goods business, bro. If no
Mhm.
more sports happen for another month, what happens?
Mhm.
We'll be in the same spot, and I'm fully prepared to accept that. I tell myself that every day.
Yeah.
I'm fully prepared for it
Yeah,
because
you have to be.
you have to, and I'm ready
It can
for
happen to
it.
anybody.
Yeah, it's like
Regardless if it's a quarantine issue or something, they
No,
just need to
man.
let people go. Whatever it could be. It could be anything.
I mean, let's just
a number of things.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just like I'm. You just can't. There's no time to stop.
Yeah.
You just got to keep moving, and I think that's like the one thing that somebody can take away from this is like, shit happens, keep moving. Blatantly, I mean, it's pretty much it. To sum it up, don't be soft.
All right.
I went off on that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're going to be posting a lot about this, so it'll be fun. So, if y'all have anything to say, if you have any sort of comment to say about this whole situation, about what's going on, feel free to comment below. Yeah, let us know what you think. Let us know what goes what kind of things you're doing from day to day. How do you overcome this whole thing? Do you consider yourself privileged? And if so, what are you doing on a daily basis to kind of put yourself in a position to be successful, or a position to overcome some certain
or what you
things?
think privilege is, and if you don't think we have privilege or whatever you think, like
Let us know.
Like, yeah,
Let us know.
Like
Let
I'm
us know.
interested to hear.
Uh-huh.
I'll
And
debate you for sure.
yeah, we're willing to talk about these
Yeah,
things,
man,
and this is the
for
whole
sure.
point. So yeah, make sure you give us a follow, give us a like. We've got our YouTube up, so make sure to subscribe.
Yeah,
Let us-
Spotify and our website. Make sure to check that out. It's kind of
By the time of this video, Apple Music should be up.
Yeah,
So
should be up.
check us out on there as well. The Common Ground Podcast.
Yep.
Thank y'all for tuning in, guys. Appreciate it.
See you next time.